Starting to fill in the gaps. Homeowner left me plants right where they want them. Of course, there's always cook's discretion, but it looks good. These got ravaged by bugs, but you can see they survived. Leaves weren't coming back. One may be a little suspect, that plant right there, but these grow very quickly. We rescued that. This, let me get myself out of the way. This needs supplement, and again, it got hit by bugs. But you can see the stems are healthy, and it's just a first year plant, so we're gonna see what it does first. Give it a chance. I will supplement it, and I'm pushing these woods back. A couple more plants to put in. If you remember, I got to about there and pushing the woods back. And the idea is you just got to get the bugs further away from these plantings. And you can see these woods used to be further back, and just years and years of growth and improper methodology of dealing with them. Back in they come, then you got bugs in here, and the bugs find that and say, yeah, it's far more delicious than that. So let's get to it today. Oh yeah, it's a good one. A little supplement. Dig a nice hole. Throw the supplement in there. Mix it with what you dug out. It's a good blend. This was good soil in here to begin with. Scoop it out. Put your plant in there. Remember, on the bottom, about an inch of the good stuff. You don't scoop everything out. Plant it, give it a nice little well, and then clean it up best you can. Not a bad process. So I got them all in, and I started this process. Same thing, just larger. Now I can't get that any deeper because then you're into clay and you're basically digging a hole that water drains into, and it just promotes insane amount of root rot and fungus. So this is the only option, which means we'll have to address this bed height, which isn't too bad. I got the soil to do it. Also like to point out, you have to rough up the roots a little if it's come in a plastic container, because it root binds and then they just don't really want to grow out. But doing that, it's like pruning it, they respond. So what I've decided to do here, simple, recut the line about 4 or 5 inches, and it just scrapes right off. This is going to give me the room to properly shape this, so it's just not a mound. But for now, the plant will be okay until I get the right soil and materials to finish that. It's amazing how much sod comes up. Remember back here, this was extended and raised because it was just a nightmare of erosion. So I'm going to use that sod to kind of create some mature blockers to this so that the water won't run off so quick. And yeah, there's a reason why it comes this way, because when we built this bed, I did not want to block in water in the back. Got a basement, and the other thing that would happen is you get those flash rainfalls and the water would pour through the island and gut it there. So the idea is this is water control management, and then down there just have to solve. If I have to put a quick drain in and pipe it out below, not an issue. This property's doing phenomenal now. It's a joint collaborative effort over about 2 years now. Some of these are first year still, so looks pretty good. I just put this guy into the ground. I realized it was dried out. The wind was destroying it. Gave it a nice little, thought I heard a hawk. Gave it a nice little stand there so it doesn't get blown over and ripped out. You can see the next hole already poured a whole bag of that supplement in and mixed it with the soil there. And you'll be going in there. And I just have to supplement you, and I can start taking my anger out on the rest of those woods. Apologies for the voice. Wind's blowing again. It rained a lot, so mold, dust, spores. You know, I'm just dying from the yard I worked in yesterday, apparently. I must have stirred something up. Hey, I'll take it if this is the weather that comes with it. It went through its struggles. It's alive. I decided it definitely needs some help. So, there's a little root there, right in the middle. So we're getting root growth. And there were some better ones over here, because this was softer, but you know what? I don't think it likes this. I think this is just causing all kinds of problems. So I went all the way around it. I found where all the roots are coming. So it is healthy, it is trying. You can really see them there. And I'm just gonna really fix this soil up in the front, because it's not bad soil here, but I'm gonna help it a little. And in the back, I'm gonna excavate some of that out of there. Put some more soil back there, just regular soil. And then I think that'll give this thing a chance. So we'll find out in the spring. If it croaks, it croaks. I think we have a shot here. Line recut. It's a rough cut because you're gonna have to reshape this island a little bit in due time, and then you do the one final passing. But see, it's part of the business in this property. It's been such an ongoing process that we really haven't gotten to that true finishing work. You know, some of that requires checking in on things. So there you go, all supplemented and redone. Huge new trough of exactly what it wants. And a little bit for that guy to the left that was a little off. These guys are in, as I said, and they're well supported now. Watered in, of course. Had to rob from the rich and give to the poor, because that's just filler soil. Remember, I'm pulling out those woods. And oh yeah, you're next. Something interesting here in the Pachysandra. I believe that's what this is. This is not due to soil or an issue or anything like that. This is distributor, because you couldn't find it all at once. So that distributor that we're walking over, probably not the best plants. And all of a sudden, this is a different distributor. See, I left all the tags because I wanted to see who was who. And look at how good these look. Yeah, it's in a slightly different spot, but this is all the same soil, treated all the same. And then remember this, and that's where I put those strips of sod I pulled out. Once again, just a bit of an anchor, because this is going to wash away, and we're going to be struggling with it, and we know it. That's not a big deal. It's going to be growing pains probably twice more. We'll have to be revisiting, smoothing it out, and seeding. But it's taking. And by putting that berm in there, any heavy rains, it'll just wash stuff and hang on to it. And then there's always been a question of where to store materials. May have just found it. All right, so on to this. This is perfect. So I'm feeling a little belligerent now. Tired, but straight on to that middle pine. And then we'll have to fill in the gaps with soil, mulch, and then I'm going to bang the left to the property line. Guy next door got hydro-seeded. Well, today's a get it done day. Today it's going to get done. As I said, stuff just peels off. But you have to cut it like sod. It came through here. I don't know if you can see the cut. You know, there you can there. I just cut it with the shovel, and then what I do is I cross cut, just like I would a piece of sod. And I got it all the way to the tree, and then I bang the left. And sorry for the shakiness, I'm exhausted. pulls out. You know, this is the best. See? Comes out like a piece of sod. And then underneath is the sand. Doesn't grow back in. So, yeah. Baby pine, white pine. Not much to that root system. Let me transplant that, see what it does. Ah, thank God it's nice and breezy. A little warmer, but it's just delightful. Anyways, you can see even down here I did all my clipping. The idea is just straight to here. And yeah, I've checked for ticks. I haven't found a single one. Earlier this year, if I did this, I'd be coated. But you can see where I'm at already. Done about another 8 feet. And it just comes right up. See, I kind of left this to show. There's your sand, there's your roots. So all these roots are going to come out and just be sand. The lowest one, ferns. All those little nodules are the stems that come up. It's an incredible vine system. Very strong. Tensile strength. So yeah. Well, like I said, just keeps on peeling off. There. There. It's laborious, but it's easy. You just have to get down to the right level. You have to cut through the roots. And I cut through them with the spade. You don't even have to jump on it. It just goes through these. These roots are not strong. And I use the 3-pronger to just kind of peel it back. Comes right up. So it started here not too long ago. You can see it was filled in with some soil. I took some of that out today. But we're right about up to that green leaf where I began today. I took all this out. And you can just see right at the end I decided to leave it just so you can really see what's going on. I'd say it's self-explanatory at that point. These I got to yank out or maybe excavate a little further back. And this is now all cut. So I don't have to worry about that. I can just rip this out. I could do it today, but I'm kind of out of energy. It's been a long week and it's not going anywhere. And all the important things were tended to. Planting, staking, supplementing, a little bit of edging, and then just overall gloating, because it's pretty good. Can't wait to see it next year. It'll be the mostly first year anchoring. A couple plants in here, maybe technically second year, but not quite. So it'll be neat. Plus there's a lot of finishing work. We're going to fill this in, we're going to remulch everything. This is really not done. A lot of polishing work, and then it's going to pop like crazy. So coming along now. See the prior videos, you can certainly see a massive difference. All right, that's it for me. Got to go catch my breath. And to add, yeah, it's a lot of debris from just that little stretch I did today. It's quite impressive, but the fact that it's so root bound and there's just sand underneath, if you partition it, you can just peel it right up. Once you get one layer up from a spot, wherever you choose to push in, it just keeps coming. Just cut it like sod, square it off, use the tongs to pull the pieces towards you, and just throw them up into the wagon and dump them. Homeowner's going to take care of that. Almost there. Another few feet in this direction. About halfway to that tree. And then up to the left. You can see now I've greatly backed the woods off of those shrubs and that poor tree. And we're not done. A lot of finishing work to do, but most of the grunt work is done. As you can imagine, whole lot of root systems and debris. But that's why it's not going to grow back, because that's all of it. There's nothing to grow back. Well, a little bit more to go. We'll see where it gets us. In the meantime, the supplemented island rosebush bloomed. Yarrow started growing again. Catmint bloomed again. Even got a mini black-eyed Susan out of it. Grass is greened up just because I refurbished all the soil around everything. So that means come spring, these will be very happy. Finally, I was able to find one of these fern root systems. This is very weird, black, wiry, very strong. Come a long way underground and up you go, 8, 12, 16 inches, come above ground, fern. So yeah, you can rip them off. Of course they're gonna grow back. All this is underground. And many more as you've seen. Inkberry or winterberry, same idea. The root just grows for feet and feet and feet and feet, and then it just decides to grow upwards. So unless you get these roots, they'll live and keep pumping all these little fronds out that then root and get longer and longer and stronger, and it all comes back. That is why there's a ditch back here, because I had to get down to the sand layer. There's nothing to grow back. You see one last pile to put out front, a few things to clip. Try to preserve the pine roots. Look at how much soil was dammed up around that tree. You can tell that's construction soil. That was a dumping. On top of the woods that then grow underneath. But you can see, look who's done. So, other than getting rid of this pile and maybe raking this out a bit, and then we have to decide, do we want to fill it in, mulch it, whatever. That's up to the homeowner. That's a heck of a lot better than what we were dealing with. Now the woods are done for years. They're not going to just grow back right away. It takes several years to start creeping leaders in. Only if you pull it up the way I pulled it up. Deer made it up here. That'll do it. Now you have access. The woods are pushed back. The bugs won't quite readily come to all your shrubs, among many other issues. All resolved just by ripping it out. Now you can see the idea behind pushing the woods back to where they came. More to come. We are not done, but the polishing work is getting near. That'll do it for me on this video. There's a lot of stuff involved, but it went pretty smooth. Always kind of does. Got kind of chilly, cloudy, but humid. Oh well. It's a lot of debris. But if you don't get it, don't wonder why it all grows back.